Hello. If you're new to this podcast, my name is Diana Dirkby, and I live with paranoid schizophrenia, CPTSD, and PTSD. I will focus on schizophrenia today. I'm the author of the audio podcast series Schizophrenia as I Live It, which is still live but now finished as I have transitioned to the current podcast, Fractured Ink, Writing in Life's Chaos, which will evolve on a broader canvas. That doesn't mean I have had my last word on schizophrenia. It will be the theme in this current podcast. Today, I want to talk about responding to stigma. Many people like me live with schizophrenia and have experienced heartbreak due to the stigma surrounding this mental illness. The most powerful campaign against the unfair treatment of individuals with schizophrenia by law enforcement and government involves organizing, educating, and lobbying by a group strong enough to effect sweeping changes that improve outcomes for those living with this condition. Mental health advocacy groups serve as prime examples. In supporting people with schizophrenia, the Schizophrenia and Psychosis group stands out. I have provided their web address in the episode description. As I mentioned in another podcast episode, there are individuals on social media who live with schizophrenia and fight stigma against it by posting facts and personal experiences. These brave individuals are succeeding in building followers and fostering debate with people who sincerely want to understand schizophrenia better. That understanding fights stigma. I'll give just a few examples from Instagram. One of the most successful at fighting against stigma on Instagram is Michelle Hammer, who lives with schizophrenia and has designed a line of clothing with logos educating people about mental illness. Her website is in the episode description. Her Instagram handle is at schizophrenic.nyc, where she untiringly educates and shares. She even has cameras in her studio to show people how safe she is, including at home. Another example of an Instagram account that stands out is at Schizophrenic Hippie, run by Cody Green, who lives with schizophrenia. It's also in the episode description. How does one find such handles? If you type in hashtag schizophrenia into the Instagram search bar, you first see a succinct definition of schizophrenia by Meta AI. Then below that are examples of posts by people discussing schizophrenia. You can browse those to get you started on an account where schizophrenia is honestly shared. Not every topic is so organized. If you search hashtag CPTSD, there is just a list of some accounts, but if you search hashtag PTSD, you find a result as well organized as hashtag schizophrenia. In the last episode, I spoke about living with schizophrenia and CPTSD. I also have PTSD from a separate incident, but that's for another time as I want to stick to schizophrenia today. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily true that if you properly educate someone, they will drop all stigma against schizophrenia. Some of these individuals may even be in your family. Some of my family members see no reason to risk anything by including me in their circle. The word schizophrenia is enough to keep them away, even if they know nothing about it other than the false stereotypes presented in poorly made TV shows or movies. If you can manage it, I suggest avoiding such people. They don't want your anti-stigma education. They want to know they don't have to see you or talk to you. Don't let that attitude win by allowing it to break your heart, as I have foolishly done on several occasions. Not everyone is like this. Others will genuinely want to be your friend. As I have seen on social media, and as I know from my experience, some people are receptive to the idea that they need to know more about schizophrenia, since they like you and want to learn how to cope with your diagnosis once it's revealed to them, either by your behavior or because you tell them. Whether they be family or friends, if they seek this exchange of question and answer, they will form the most reliable relationship for someone living with schizophrenia. Of course, some people will stick by you because they genuinely love you. However, if you can educate them about the stigma against schizophrenia and how it arises, your bond will be even healthier and stronger. So, what is the two-way street I refer to in the title of this episode? I mean individuals, not mental health advocacy groups. To effectively combat stigma, we must understand why a person exercises stigma against schizophrenia and what feelings and thoughts drive them to such a prejudicial stance. Before educating them, we need to know where they stand. That is our advance down the two-way street. It's not just about how I am feeling, it's about how they are feeling too. For example, during many of my relapses, I have behaved in a manner that people don't recognize because they have never seen me manifest symptoms. Once I realize I'm symptomatic, I need to give anyone trying to deal with me the space to understand me under relapse. With some people, I have found that saying, I live with schizophrenia and here are some of the symptoms, is enough. And I have been surprised by the quick turnaround from fear to acceptance by such people. Some even say, thanks for sharing that you live with schizophrenia. Now we understand that you are behaving weirdly because of that diagnosis. Tell us more. By meeting stigma head-on with such people, the two-way street is me allowing for ignorance and knowing the stigmatizers well enough to trust a head-on explanation as the best avenue to meeting and talking on our two-way street. However, we can't expect things to go so well with everyone. I already suggested that if you live with schizophrenia, then you don't waste stress and effort on those who don't want to meet you, even a little bit of the way down a two-way street. In some cases, some learn you live with schizophrenia or witness some of your symptoms and want to do the right thing. However, they don't know what the right thing is. I have already written in my blog and discussed in my podcast, Schizophrenia as I Live It, the LEAP method, LEAP, which can be highly effective if you actively want to help someone with schizophrenia. It's a way of forging a two-way street that will provide a positive result for both parties. To refresh your memory, the LEAP method, developed by psychologist Dr. Xavier Amador, is a communication approach designed to help families and mental health professionals connect with and support individuals with mental illness, even when those individuals are resistant to treatment or deny that they have a problem. It involves 4 core principles: listen, empathize, agree, and partner. The LEAP method is best advanced through the books of Amador and the resources available at the LEAP Institute. His book, I Am Not Sick, I Don't Need Help, is a comprehensive guide. The LEAP Institute website offers further information, including videos and training materials. I'll give the website in the episode description. For the LEAP method to be effective, there has to be a two-way street where the stigmatized and the person wanting to help them without stigma walk towards each other and meet in the middle with a powerful result. Sometimes individuals living with schizophrenia encounter people who accept them but are uncomfortable with their diagnosis. These individuals may believe they do not hold stigma, and they might even mistakenly feel knowledgeable about schizophrenia. If this person is someone you value, it's essential to create space for their discomfort. since it is a genuine feeling, and to keep working toward helping them feel comfortable with you. The best way to achieve this is through education. However, they might not be inclined to read numerous books or follow relevant social media accounts. Instead, they may be more open to watching a film, like A Beautiful Mind, which tells the story of the mathematical genius John Nash, who lived with schizophrenia and ultimately won the Nobel Prize. There are other media about different types of mental illness, like the Apple TV series The Crowded Room about DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. The movie All About Eve from 1950 also features dissociative identity disorder. This disorder is often confused with schizophrenia. I blogged about this confusion on July 22nd, 2024, and did a podcast episode about it on July 24th, 2024. Web references for these episodes are provided in the episode description. That is my two-way street. Try to put yourself in the shoes of someone exercising stigma against schizophrenia to see if there is a way to forge a path where they can put themselves in your shoes. Thanks for listening or watching if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to check out my novel, The Overlife: A Tale of Schizophrenia, which is about a mother and daughter living with schizophrenia. Thank you. Bye-bye.